As the captain of the Divine Legion and the strongest awakener, Bai Yi is betrayed by a trusted comrade and forced to watch his entire squad perish before his eyes. In that moment of despair, he finally understands he was nothing more than a pawn of those in power. Stripped of everything, Bai Yi is granted a second chance. Reborn 20 years in the past, back to his middle school days before his awakening. Now, with his family and comrades still alive, he vows to change fate itself to save those he lost, to hunt down the betrayer, and to tear down the corrupt system that once controlled him. His path forward will be one of solitude and unrelenting strength. In that world, the emergence of magic had birthed innumerable demonic caves and unspeakable horrors. Yet, magic had not been a force of destruction alone, it had also awakened chosen individuals, blessed with powers beyond human comprehension. Among these awakened had existed a legendary unit, a squad celebrated across every nation as the mightiest of their kind. Each of its 5 members had commanded one of the elemental forces and had possessed an SSS class demon king named Belophagur as their ultimate weapon. On that fateful day, the 5 members of the Divine Corps had descended into a demonic cave to fulfill a singular mission to annihilate a powerful demon king. Their movements had been flawless, their coordination absolute, their aura a harmony of lethal precision. At their forefront had stood Bai Yi, the seasoned captain who had led them for more than a decade. Acting under the direct orders of the supreme authority known only as God, the Divine Corps had been charged with eradicating the L-class demon infestation and purging the cave of corruption. Though the mission had been deemed perilous, it had been far from unfamiliar. The Divine Corps had already conquered 9 demonic caves, each more treacherous than the last. Among them, Lindsay had stood as their swift assassin, her speed and grace unmatched. She had regarded the task lightly. Beside her, Han Qing, the team's most gifted mage, had summoned a cloud-based enhancement spell, magnifying Bai Yi's strength for the impending battle. With one radiant stroke of his blade, Bai Yi had cleaved through the Demon King, ending its existence in an instant. Silence had followed stillness of apparent victory. Relief had settled among them. Though unease had lingered beneath the surface, the mission's conclusion had come too easily, its outcome too clean. When the team had regrouped, he had ordered a report to the Holy Captain's Hall, his discipline unshaken even as laughter echoed faintly among them. Yet his instincts had remained on edge, especially when he had realized that Archester, their 5th member, had yet to return. Moments later, Archester had appeared. Before Bai Yi could offer words of commendation, a gunshot had shattered the quiet. Han Qing had fallen instantly, lifeless upon the cavern floor. Shock had seized the survivors. In the moments that followed, Bai Yi's command had reverberated through the hollow space, but Archester's expression had remained void of emotion. His betrayal had been absolute. The truth had then been revealed. Their food had been poisoned for weeks with a paralyzing agent that had left them powerless. From Archester's hands, dark tendrils had erupted, binding his comrades in agony. Lindsay and Lucian had struggled against their restraints until the vines had crushed them, their lives extinguished in blood and silence. Bai Yi's rage had ignited, but his body had refused to obey his will. He had acted as the hand of God, believing himself an instrument of divine will. When his task had reached its end, he had disappeared and reappeared behind Bai Yi, driving his hand through the captain's chest. Blood had poured freely, staining the ground as Bai Yi's strength had faded. The Divine Corps had perished, every last one of them. A cold, mechanical voice had echoed through the void, confirming the massacre, the date, the completion, the purge. Archester had stood alone among the fallen, his breath steady, his face unreadable. Yet from the shadows, another entity had stirred. A figure had emerged with a smile that did not belong to the living. It had been Belophagur, the very demon king they had believed destroyed. The creature had revealed its true nature, proclaiming dominion over the Night Kingdom and declaring that its life force was bound to the realm itself. Dark energy had gathered around it, feeding upon the lingering hatred in the air. It had offered Bai Yi, a dying remnant of consciousness, a single forbidden gift: the power to return, to rewrite fate, and to seek vengeance upon his betrayers and upon God. In that moment, Bai Yi's grief, fury, and despair had fused into a single burning resolve. Memories of his fallen comrades had flashed before him as the demon had extended a pulsating heart, a symbol of their unholy pact. Belophagor's laughter had faded, swallowed by the void. Then everything had gone dark. When Bai Yi had opened his eyes, he had found himself in a classroom